What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 25 of the Listen Whilst You Step podcast. Today, I'm joined by Chris Davies. Me and Chris are part of the same mentorship group with Adam. And yes, Adam's name keeps coming up, but he will be coming on the podcast eventually, I promise you. But we're going to talk about some super cool topics today. Chris has done some insane stuff. He's an incredible coach, gets incredible results. He's in insane shape himself. So, mate, I won't blow your trumpet too much. Why don't you give yourself a little bit of an intro, who you are, what you do?
Wow, what a welcome, man. You've knocked me off my feet with that. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with that. Yeah, man, I'm an online coach, have been now for the past 2 years. I was based in South Africa last year in Cape Town, and now currently based in Madeira Island. I have to make sure I get the pronunciation right, otherwise the Portuguese people correct me really quick. So yeah, man, basically been a PT for 10 years before that. Just absolutely love the industry, what it's about. As soon as I left school, probably like a lot of other coaches as well, just went to become a gym instructor, cleaning the treadmills, and then, you know, still loving it though, and just being in that environment of the gym and everything like that. And then progressed on to becoming a PT, self-employed, you know, fully booked, just loving the life. And then our gym actually got bulldozed. Oh, so it was like a strong kind of fork in the road for me to decide to go into online training and stuff like that. But it's been a blessing, man. It's enabled me to be able to travel and follow through with my passions, which is one of them we're going to talk about today. And yeah, man, it basically led me onto a massive project in Zambia, over in Africa, for helping out and supporting a children's orphanage. And yeah, man, that was thanks to the gym that I was working at, introduced me to it. And that was 6 years ago now. And I managed to go on a trip there my first year, 6 years ago, and fell in love with it. And that was me hooked. And then I'm now known for doing these crazy kind of fitness challenges to raise money and awareness for the children over there.
Mate, that's absolutely insane. I've literally just signed up to do a marathon myself. It's not quite what you've done, but yeah, I'm up for doing some crazy challenges. If you're ever looking for someone to tag along, mate, sign me up.
I've noted that down already, man, and I'll be calling you up.
Mate, genuinely, I'll be so down for something like that. I'm really up for that. But mate, it's absolutely incredible what you're doing. I've got so much respect for it. What was it that got you into the industry? Like, obviously, you joined straight out of school. What was the driving force? What was the motivation? Was it sport? Was it just generally?
Yeah, I mean, I probably, like a lot of people, when I would kind of come to the end of school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was close to going off to university just because my friends were going.
Same here, man.
Yeah, and then my dad gave me, luckily enough, gave me a sit down and pretty much was like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, this is the time to decide right now, like in this second. So like we just sat at this cafe and basically spoke about the things that, you know, I love doing. I've been playing sport my whole life, various sports, football, American football, rugby and stuff like that. And he was like, look, you've been going to these lunchtime gym sessions at your school. You're into the fitness stuff. Why don't you become like a personal trainer? So I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So I was working at WH Smith's at the time, part-time, earning my keep, and saved up the money, did my qualifications. And that's kind of, you know, never looked back from there, really.
Yeah, it's such a refreshing thing. I've been in the industry for nearly 7 years now. I did exactly the same thing. I started my business, like, it was originally Shape Up. It's now obviously Aesthetic Strength. I started it in between my first and second years at college. So, mate, this is all I've ever done, and it sounds like exactly the same.
Yeah. Apart from that short stint at WH Smith's, just to earn my money to pay for the courses, but yeah, man, I'm never going back. Like, you know, this is me set now.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Mate. And I count myself a very lucky person to have found something that I'm super passionate about, that I absolutely love. You get to help people. It's super fulfilling, but then also you have the opportunity to grow a business and like, let's be honest, you have an opportunity to make a really good income as well. It's rare that people can find something that kind of covers all those boxes. But mate, you touched on obviously all the Zambia stuff and the fundraising. What were the challenges and what are these crazy challenges?
Yeah,
doing? Touch
right. So growing up and stuff, I'd always seen like the adverts to donate money and stuff, and I honestly I'd never done it because I was always skeptical about where the money was going, etc., etc. And growing up from high school, my best friend was a Zambian guy, funny enough, and when I was working at a really cool gym, the owner come and said, look, you've just started working here, just to let you know we support this project in Africa. So I was like, oh, whereabouts in Africa? And he said, Zambia. I was like, oh, what the odds? Like, my best friend, I've pretty much grown up with his family, like his family's my family, etc. Is a Zambian guy. Like, let's book a trip and get over there. Like, it was just something inside me which was kind of telling me, like, you need to follow this path, right?
This is the thing to do.
So then got all the lads at the gym involved, and they were like, scaffolders and builders and stuff like that. And we're like, yeah, we can go and do this cool stuff. When it comes to booking the actual flights, realizing that we're going to be getting on a really small plane and then flying out into the bush. And then people were a bit like, oh, actually, I don't know. So I basically just ended up going on my own. And it was that strong kind of feeling inside me that was like, Chris, you need to do this. Like, this is your why. Like, you're passionate about, what you brought so far in your fitness career. Maybe you can do something over there. And I had no building experience or anything like that. So I was just going there with like an open mind, open heart, and just seeing what I could bring.
And a six pack.
Yeah, and a six pack. And and basically, yeah, mate, the first trip honestly touched me so much. Like, it was like there was a drought, so there was no water. And when I mean no water, it's like there was no water. Like, if you find a tap, you turn it, nothing comes out. And I lost a stone in my first trip, went super gaunt, but I just came back with such a changed outlook on life. And it kind of just expanded my heart and my vision of what I wanted to kind of achieve and stuff like that. So I was so touched by this amazing project over there that I came back and I was like, right, I need to move over there. Like, my life, this is my purpose now. Like, it touched me on such a deep level. And I was thinking, oh, I don't know if staying here is really fulfilling me now, because I'm helping people drop a couple of pounds, and feel better about themselves. But is that enough? And then basically the owner, I was ready to pack my bags and leave. And the owner of the gym, a good friend of mine, he basically sat me down and was like, look, Chris, from over here, you can do so much more to raise awareness and then take that over there. Yes. So that was the deciding factor for me to stay. So I was like, right, what can I do to, get people's awareness? Because, you see people raising money all the time. But this is such an incredible, life-changing project. And the 100% of the money that goes into it is used on the project. So, I want to be able to have people trust me enough to know that this is legit. So it started off small, full body wax. And then I did a bush tucker trial. So I ate scorpions, tarantulas, all they were already dead. For the people that have already kicked off at me about it, saying, oh, you're bad. You're bad for that. But yeah, they were already dead. But I did stuff like that. And then people were starting to understand, all right, this might be something worth checking out now, because he keeps doing these crazy things. So I thought, right, I need to come with something ridiculous. So me and a few of the guys at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning were deciding the next challenge. So I do one every year. And we came up with a 24-hour EMOM. So an every minute on the minute, but for 24 hours, no breaks.
What were the exercises? Or was it
squat, deadlift, bench press? So I'll just rotate between each one. And I thought, right, I'll do my body weight, which at the time was 85 kilos. So I'm just going to hit a rep every minute for the 24 hours. And this was now to raise funds to build another orphan home there. Okay. Again, so a massive project. I had a big vision, and I thought, right, no, this is doable. And everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone was coming to me and going, Chris, why don't you just try 6 hours? It's 24 hours. Like, that is ridiculous. And I was like, that's what it needs to be.
Who does 6 when you can do 24?
Exactly, right? So that was the method to the madness. And long story short, we put the event on. It was awesome. We did it at the independent gym I was working at. So it was wicked. We had DJs, live music and everything there. And we raised about 15 grand to fund building one orphan home and finish building 2 more. So, epic. That was awesome. Again, visit there every year. So got to see the build and the new kids that came into the home, which was awesome. Now, this is where it leads me into how I came across you and your steps.
Really?
Right? So, yeah, exactly. So
this is news to me. Like,
yeah, this is full circle now. I didn't want to disclose this, but obviously lockdown happened, South Africa, when we were there. And we had no car, so me and my girlfriend are having to walk now everywhere. So we're walking. We're not one for cardio, definitely not. But there's such amazing hikes there that we were starting to do all these hikes. And it was coming towards the end of last year. And like I said, I've always visited Zambia every year. And I thought, you know what, this year's been so crazy. So many people have been so down and, just down in the dumps about everything, that we need to come and bring something at the end of this year to like really boost everyone. Yeah. And we thought, right, let's incorporate all this walking we've been doing into a challenge. So we decided that we were going to try, when the borders opened, to fly to Zambia. And then we was going to do 100-kilometer walk all in one go in the 36-degree heat to raise money to fund 100 kids for their education for the year, for the full year. So it pays for all their books, the teachers, like their exams, everything. So again, we took on this massive project. So we're walking, we're listening to podcasts, we're trying to get like motivation for this, because we haven't done any kind of cardio before ever, like that kind of extent. And then my dad, funny enough, again, interjects and goes, Chris, great idea, but why don't you carry a load of rocks while you do it?
Your dad sounds like, 1, a very wise man, but 2, an absolute nutter.
Yeah. You've literally nailed him right on the spot there. Like, basically, it's such a cool idea and such a cool concept. He said, basically, anyone that donates over £50 will get their name on a rock. That goes into your backpack, and then you're going to carry that person for the 100 kilometers with you, so they can take that journey with you. And then my girlfriend, being like an amazing artist, she's going to then construct a mural at the orphanage using all the rocks.
That's unreal.
Right?
Man, it's giving me goosebumps. Like,
mate, I'm trying to give you like the bare bones, because I can really talk about this, and I'm obviously so passionate about it. And basically the whole thing was is so many people have come and said, you know what, Chris, like, I've always wanted to get involved with some kind of project like this. I've always wanted to do it, but they have no idea on like where their money's going or how they can help or anything. Like, they don't really trust that kind of process, right? And that's what I can honestly open my heart to say. This is all so legit, and I feel so grateful to be just a small part of it, to be able to then share that with everyone. But anyway, the fun part comes where now just doing, say, 10,000 steps a day is so much better than I think it was 170,000 steps or something.
Was it 170k?
Yeah. So again, hadn't really done any major prep for it. I did an 8-hour hike in Cape Town, and by the way, my girlfriend did this with me, so she's also a nutter.
Such a nice way to describe her.
Yeah, man. So we were doing some walks every day and stuff, but you can't really prep for the heat, the journey, and also the weight for that amount of time, because there were 64 rocks in my bag, in my backpack.
Do you know what?
And the 64, it was around 20. Yeah, around 20 kilos. Which doesn't seem a lot when, you're used to lugging dumbbells and stuff. But, when you're like 16 hours in to it, that 20 kilos feels like 200 kilos.
I can only imagine.
And the state of my feet, if you go back through my Instagram to around the end of November, you'll see my feet after the walk. I couldn't walk for about 5 days because the weight of the bag and the heat and everything like that. And I had blister resistant socks and everything. And
really,
my whole foot looked like a blister. I might actually see if I can quickly while I'm on here.
Yeah, that's what I was literally just doing. I've got it.
If you go back. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. So they were oozing and everything like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised your girlfriend's still with you.
Yeah, and to be fair, she nursed me through it. So she did the walk herself, but she also nursed my feet because they were in such a bad way. And but man, what an incredible challenge and experience. And we were greeted for the last 10 kilometers by about 200 people involved with the project. Kids, the school children that were helping, the parents. And it was so epic, man. And it was just like bringing that whole thing together of like, being fit is amazing. But, what am I doing with my health, with my fitness that can really reach out and help other people? Yeah. And that's kind of what direction I've been aiming to go down.
Mate, it's literally insane. And I can only imagine the kind of sense of fulfillment and purpose and just, mate, I think that picture of seeing those 200 people with you when you finish that last 10K, that is a memory that will never leave you or those other 200 people, to say the least. Exactly. So, mate, that's genuinely incredible. How much did you raise with the walk then?
It's just under 10 grand. So, but there's still possibility for people to still donate now. The project, like I said, the money goes into the 100 kids and their education for the year. So the money that we've raised is already being filtered into their start from January, their school year. So I'm hoping that obviously we can continue to raise money so that they can actually have it for the whole year and they don't have to cut their year short. It also, it also pays for their meal every day as well. Wow. So as you can probably imagine, like a lot of the kids there, they don't get to have a meal every day. So the school fee covers them having a meal as well on top of that. So yeah, it's amazing.
I'm speechless, man.
Yeah.
Like it's genuinely, I'm absolutely unbelievable. Mate, like honestly, I'm saying this on a podcast, so it's like public accountability as well. I would like generally, if you're up for something, and you're doing something, keep me in the loop with things. Yeah. But let's just kind of relate this back to people's fitness journey, just a touch.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would have been able to do that 100K with the stones, the 20 kilo worth of stones in your back, if you weren't doing it for the reasons that you were?
Definitely not. I wouldn't have even lasted 50K. Like from 50 kilometers in, I was done. I was laying in a town called Kitwe on the floor on my back, and I was having this like real sick feeling, like I was just going to throw up or pass out or all of it at the same time. And everything was telling me then, like, your body's reached its max, stop. The only thing that kept me going was the whole purpose of what I was doing. And it wasn't about me and the pain I was going through. It was about the kids that are now going to be able to, have an education. So that having that deep why was such a vital part of this whole thing being a success.
I think being part of something that's bigger than you is probably one of the most underrated. People talk about a why and they're like, I want to get more confident. I want to lose some fat. I'm like, no, that is a why, and it can be a why, but that why is only going to carry you so far. Okay. Yeah. Like my big thing is like one of the things that really not pisses me off, but it like aggravates me is because there's so much childhood obesity at the moment. And my opinion that a lot of that comes from just pure education. So my why behind my coaching and why we do what we do with clients is one, yes, to get them in incredible shape. And I want them to be confident. I want them to be able to do whatever they want. But it's also, if I educate people the right way, then one day they're going to be able to teach their kids to do that the right way. And it's just a knock-on effect, because I think we are going for a little bit of a shift now. There's a lot more kind of consciousness about it. But 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you and me, probably you got taught absolutely nothing about how to stay fit, healthy, and your nutrition or anything like that at school. So
exactly, like the school dinners we were having, like I was having, I think, a donut, a 50p donut from the tuck shop, and like they were just selling
bangers and mash, baby.
Exactly, yeah. And the alphabet numbers for the dinners. I can't remember what they were called, alphabets or something. Yeah, just bad stuff, man.
Absolutely incredible. So, mate, how can people get involved and donate to the charity, help you out, and help the charity out in any way?
So I've got a link that I'll share with you, and you can
I'll leave it in the
you can post that, and that goes straight to like the donation page with more information about it. My DMs are always open for anyone who's got any questions about it. You know, I'm always happy to share my experiences, and you know, any questions that people have, I'm here to answer them. I feel like that's my kind of part in this. I'm the person that can, like, you know, take someone that's like, oh, this is something I really want to do, I've always wanted to do it, and I can go like, look, this is somewhere that is completely trustworthy, you're safe, it's such an incredible project. Like every time I go there, it's like, is incredible. Like you have your own experience. Like, and like I said, I brought my girlfriend over. I wouldn't be taking her if I thought, oh, this is a bit dodgy or dangerous. You meet the most incredible people, and yeah, man, it's just an awesome time.
Yeah. How do you think it's changed you?
Just expansion, really, of my vision and my heart and my why. To be honest, like, you know, I thought, you know, yeah, I'm in this because, you know, I want to help people, but it was still a pretty vague, like, idea of what I actually wanted. And yeah, just really expanded. Like I've been involved with this project through some, like, the hardest times of my life, and the people that have known me, like, massive shifts in my life. And that project has been like a real solid rock and root for me to, you know, come through and realize, like, you know, this is such an incredible world that we live in, and we're always plastered with so much negativity, you know, on social medias and the news and stuff like that. It's easy to lose track of, you know, what's really important. And for me, you know, doing my qualifications when I was in London all those years ago, when I was a little nipper, you know, I would never have dreamed that I'd be in a township teaching women with HIV, you know, a fitness class, or, like, you know, things like that. And I think, you know, if you've got a passion for something, it's important to, like, see it through. And there's going to be so many times, like, you know, roadblocks that are coming to challenge you on, you know, is this truly, like, what you believe in? Or, like, you know, do you feel that amount of love to help this cause? Like, you know, like you mentioned with the child obesity thing, and, you know, such a big problem. And there's going to be times where you'll be challenged to think, you know what, Simon, do you really actually want to, like, help with this? Yeah. And, like, as long as you stay true to your why and your purpose, then, like, the sky and beyond is the limit, I say.
Yeah, mate, you've literally just taken the words out of my mouth of what I was going to ask you next. But honestly, mate, I just want to say, like, it's a genuine inspiration what you're doing. And mate, I'm sure you, your family, your girlfriend, everyone is dead proud of both of you and what you're achieving. And I can genuinely tell you, like, you've put goosebumps on my arms through this whole episode. And I know it will do for anyone who's listening. Okay. But I'm going to kind of wrap it up there, guys. I want to keep it short and sweet. Honestly, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I massively appreciate it. Guys, I will leave the link to the charity donations, Chris's link to his Instagram and things like that in the charity, and hello, there it is. In the description box below. Please share it to your story. Give us both a tag, and we will see you in the next episode.